Welcome back to the channel JF Coin. Today we're diving deep into a tiny coin with huge history, the 1937 1-cent coin from the United States, often called the wheat penny or Lincoln penny. If you've ever found an old penny in your pocket change and wondered whether it might be worth more than a cent, this video is for you. Let's get started. Magnifying glass tilted right. What is the 1937 wheat penny? The 1937 penny belongs to the long-running series of Lincoln cent coins, 1-cent pieces in which the obverse, front, bears a bust of Abraham Lincoln and the reverse, back, features two stylized wheat ears. This wheat reverse design was used from 1909 until 1958. Wikipedia +2 something borrowed +2. The penny was designed by sculptor/engraver Victor David Brenner. PCGS +1 composition, mostly copper, about 95% copper, with tin and zinc making up the rest. PCGS +1 in 1937, all three major U.S. mints strike these pennies. Philadelphia, no mint mark, about 309,170,000 minted. Coinvalues.com +1 Denver date +D mint mark, about 50,430,000 minted. Coinvalues.com +1 San Francisco date +S mint mark, about 34,500,000 minted. Coinvalues.com +1 Because of the large mintage, 1937 pennies are common, many survive to this day. Coinvalues.com +1 So, nothing ultra-rare by default. But, as we'll see, condition, errors, and mint mark can make a huge difference. Mantelpiece clock. Why collectors care. The historical and cultural value. The Lincoln cent series, 1909 to 1958 with the wheat reverse, spanned half a century. That means the 1937 penny represents a snapshot of American daily life during a very different era, the Great Depression years, when pennies were common coins used by everyday people. Wikipedia +1 The wheat ear design on the reverse is iconic. For many collectors, the wheat penny evokes nostalgia, simpler times, old pocket change, vintage wallets. That sentimental and historic aspect adds intangible value beyond mere metal content. Over the decades, some 1937 pennies have survived in nearly perfect condition. Those uncirculated, or mint state, coins show original luster, crisp details, and none of the wear of regularly used coins, and that's what makes them desirable. LincolnWheatpenny.com +2 PCGS +$2 banknote. What is a 1937 penny really worth in 2025? Let's break down the value ranges based on condition, mint mark, and special factors. Variety/condition. Typical value range *1937, Philadelphia, circulated, $0.10 to $1.00. Often just a bit above face value. LincolnWheatpenny.com +2 CoinValueLookup.com +21937D, Denver, circulated, slightly more, often under a few dollars. Something borrowed +11937S, San Francisco, circulated, a few cents to a few dollars, depending on where. Alcoinvalues.com +1 uncirculated/ mint state, MS60 MS63, any mint mark $2 to $10 plus for decent uncirculated coins. LincolnWheatpenny.com +2 CoinValueLookup.com +2 high-grade uncirculated, bright red luster, nowhere, e.g. MS65 red, $30 to $50 or more. Collectors often pay a premium for coins with excellent eye appeal. LincolnWheatpenny.com +1 exceptionally high-grade/rare mint state examples, very rarely found. Some have sold for hundreds or even thousands, though for 1937 pennies such cases are extremely uncommon. PCGS +2 CoinValueLookup.com +2 special error or variety coins, off-center strikes, die cracks, unusual toning, etc. Value depends heavily on severity and collector demand. In rare cases could significantly exceed standard examples. LincolnWheatpenny.com +2 CoinValueLookup.com +2 warning important. Most 1937 pennies, especially those found in pocket change, end up in the lowest value bracket, a few cents to $1 or $2. The really valuable coins are the ones in near perfect condition, with no wear, strong strike, original mint color, red, and ideally certified by a grading service. Many online listings or stories claiming that every 1937 penny is worth $50, $100, or more are simply overoptimistic or misleading, unless the coin is truly top grade. Test tube what makes some 1937 pennies worth a lot more. If you stumble upon a 1937 penny, here's what to check to possibly spot a valuable one. Condition, grade, sharp. Details, no wear or smoothing, full rims, crisp date and letters. Coins in mint state condition are far more desirable. Original luster and color, especially coins that still retain that original red copper tone, often referred to as MS red or RD. Once a coin loses that, value drops. Mint mark, while the 1937 no mint mark, Philadelphia, is the common one. Sometimes D. Denver or S. San Francisco specimens are more collectible, especially if they're top quality. Errors or varieties, off-center strikes, die cracks, unusual toning, or other minting anomalies can make a coin stand out among collectors, but only if the error is significant and the rest of the coin is in good shape. LincolnWheatpenny.com +2 CoinValueLookup.com +2 Certification by a reputable grading company. Coins certified by organizations like PCGS or NGC are generally easier to sell and command higher prices, because buyers trust the grading. Direct hit. So, is the 1937 wheat penny worth $42 right now? Here's the honest answer. A typical 1937 penny, especially one picked up in circulation, is not worth $42. Most are worth only a few cents to $1 or $2. However, a well-preserved, uncirculated 1937 penny with original red color, strong strike, and no damage could reach or exceed $30 to $50, sometimes more if graded. That's where the $42 figure might come from. The value a lot only applies to a small fraction of coins. Most are ordinary coins with little collector demand beyond basic numismatic interest. If you happen to find a 1937 penny that looks nearly perfect, keep it safe. It might be one of those few that interest serious collectors. Open mailbox with raised flag. If I were you, here's what I'd do if I found a 1937 penny lying around today. Examine it closely under good light. Look for clear date, crisp details, full rims, no major scratches or wear, and ideally retain original copper red tone. If it appears uncirculated or very nice, consider sending it to a grading company, like PCGS/NGC. This can help prove its value when selling or trading. If it's worn or ordinary, just enjoy it as a cool piece of history. Even common wheat pennies are sweet little relics from 1930s America. If you accumulate a few nice ones, maybe build a small collection, over time, coins like these can become charming vintage sets, especially for coin hobby enthusiasts. Orange Heart. Final thoughts. The 1937 wheat penny is a humble little coin, but behind that humble penny lies decades of history, craftsmanship, and a world of numismatic passion. It shows us how everyday currency, what you paid for groceries with, can become a link to the past, a talking point, or even a collector's treasure. If you treat it right, store it carefully, and maybe even score a high-grade example, who knows? That tiny cent might just remind you that sometimes the most valuable treasures come in the smallest packages. If you like, I can also prepare a full script with timestamps, e.g. intro, history, value breakdown, how to spot a good one, conclusion, so you can just plug it into your video editor and record directly. Do you want me to build that full timestamped script for you now? Today we're diving deep into a small coin with big history, the 1951 wheat penny from the USA. This tiny 1-cent coin may look ordinary at first glance, but believe me, under the right conditions it's a piece of history, and for collectors, it can be much more than just a penny. In 1951, the US Mint struck hundreds of millions of these pennies, but over the decades many have worn down, circulated, or lost their original luster. The ones that survive today in pristine condition, bright copper, sharp details, no wear, are the ones that get real collector attention. Let's explore why. Userkinbook.com +2 Coin Study +2 Design and Composition. What the coin looks like. On the obverse front you'll find a profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln. Above his head reads, "In God We Trust." To the left is "Liberty," and to the right is the date, 1951. If the coin has a mint mark, like D or S, it sits just below the date. Coinidentifier.com +1 on the reverse. Back there are two curved stalks of wheat. That's why these cents are nicknamed wheat pennies. The reverse also reads 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. Coinidentifier.com +1 composition, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams and measures 19 mm in diameter. Usercoinbook.com +1 This classic design, featuring Lincoln and the wheat back, links the coin to a long tradition of American penny minting, making it more than just pocket change. Chart increasing mintage and how common it was. 1951 was a busy year for pennies. For the no mint mark version, from the Philadelphia Mint, around 284,576,000 were produced. Usercoinbook.com +1 The D mint mark version, from the Denver Mint, had a much larger mintage, roughly 625,355,000 coins. Usercoinbook.com +1 The S mint mark version, San Francisco Mint, was less common, about 136,010,000 produced. Usercoinbook.com +1 So in raw numbers, 1951 pennies were quite common. Quite a few were minted. What makes them potentially valuable now isn't just the year, but the condition, color, and rarity of high-quality survivors. Dollar banknote value and what collectors pay. 1951 penny price breakdown. This part is the most exciting. The value of a 1951 wheat penny varies enormously depending on its condition, grade, mint mark, and how well the coin has been preserved. Here's a breakdown based on recent data. Small blue diamond, common condition, circulated/average. A typical 1951 penny in average circulated condition, worn, faded, maybe a bit dull, is often worth just a few cents to 25 to 35 cents. LincolnWheatPenny.com +2 Cointrackers.com +2 That's true especially for the high mintage Denver D version or heavily handled coins. Usercoinbook.com +1 Small blue diamond uncirculated/mint condition, gem, or collector grade. If a coin is uncirculated, with sharp details and perhaps the original copper red luster, values rise. 85 cents to a few dollars isn't uncommon for modest mint state examples. Usercoinbook.com +1 for higher grade specimens, like MS63, 2, MS65, and above, values climb more. Examples in red RD, color often fetch $8 to $26 or more. Numismatics 101 +2 Coin value checker +2 Small blue diamond rare, high quality, proof, or error coins, where gold lies. Coins graded MS67, gem condition, red, can be extremely valuable, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on quality, color, and demand. Coinidentifier.com +2 Numismatics 101 +2 Proof versions from 1951. Especially well-preserved proof strikes also enjoy high demand among collectors. Antiques know-how +1 If there are minting errors or rare variations, like doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes, value can skyrocket. But these are very rare and require careful authentication. U.S. Coins Guide +2 Pennyverse.info +2 So while many 1951 pennies are just old coins, a select few, with right color, sharpness, and condition, are considered collector's gems. Magnifying glass tilted right. Why some people think 1951 penny might be worth $42 or more. You mentioned market current value $42. Here's how a 1951 penny might reach or exceed that figure if your coin is uncirculated, never spent, with bright original red copper color (RD) and sharp details, clear lettering, crisp wheat stalks. It enters the premium zone. Collectors often pay a premium for condition. A gem red 1951 coin is much more desirable than a worn circulated one. In auctions and among serious collectors, demand for classic coins, especially from the wheat penny era, remains strong, pushing up values. For the best preserved examples. If your coin turns out to be a proof strike or an error/variety, that alone can make it a collectible. Holy Grail. Far beyond face value. In other words, $42 is not outside the realm of possibility, but only for a rare, high-quality, well-preserved 1951 penny. Most out-of-pocket 1951 pennies won't approach that. Thinking face. So, is your 1951 penny a hidden treasure or just a cent? Here are some quick questions you can ask to estimate whether your coin might be valuable. Is the copper color bright and reddish, or faded brown? Bright/red equals better. Are all details sharp, clear lettering, pronounced Lincoln profile, crisp wheat on the back? Does it show no wear, scratches or dents, even around the edges? Does it have a mint mark, D or S? Sometimes, S coins or certain mint marks are more sought after, but condition matters more than mint mark alone. Could it be a proof coin or show any unusual features/minting errors? These are rare, but can make a big difference. If you answered yes to several, congrats. You might have a coin collectors would pay good money for. If not, it's still a nice piece of history, though likely worth only a few cents or dollars. Toolbox quick tips. What to do if you think you have a valuable 1951 penny. Clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the natural patina and dramatically reduce value. Handle with care, by the edges only, ideally with gloves or clean fingers. Compare with high-definition photos of verified, gem-red 1951 pennies online to check for similarities. Get it graded by a reputable coin grading service if you think it might be high-grade or rare. That certification often makes or breaks its value. Research recent auction sales to gauge what similar coins have sold for. Coin value can fluctuate over time. Sparkle's final thoughts. The magic of old coins. The story of the 1951 wheat penny shows how something as humble as a 1-cent coin can carry layers of history, craftsmanship, and value, especially when preserved well over decades. What many see as just an old coin, serious collectors see as a snapshot of a bygone era, a physical piece of American monetary history, and possibly a gem worth more than its tiny face value. So if you've got a 1951 penny sitting in a jar or wallet, take a closer look. With a bit of luck and the right condition, you might just be holding a miniature treasure. If you like, I can help you build a full script with intro, body, outro, hooks, B-roll suggestions, ready to copy and paste for YouTube, tailored to 1951 wheat pennies. That could make your video even more professional and engaging. Want me to build that full script for you right now? Today's market. Clapperboard intro. The story of a simple penny that could be gold. You might think a penny is just a penny. But what if I told you that a humble 1-cent coin, minted in 1955 in Denver, USA, could hide real treasure? The 1955 Lincoln wheat penny is one of those coins, common at first glance, but holding secrets that makes some of them valuable for collectors. What makes it special isn't just the year or the mint mark, its condition, history, minting quirks, and a dose of luck. In this video, we'll explore why some 1955 pennies are ordinary, while others can fetch dollars, or even thousands. Brick background. What is a wheat penny? The wheat penny design refers to pennies minted from 1909 to 1958 in the U.S., featuring the profile of former President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. CoinValueLookup.com +2 UserCoinBook.com +2 The 1955 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint. The D, after the date, tells you that. In 1955, Denver produced a whopping 563,257,500 of these pennies. UserCoinBook.com +2 Rarist.org +2 The coin is made mostly of copper, about 95% copper with tin and zinc, and weighs 3.11 grams, with a diameter of 19 millimeters. UserCoinBook.com So yes, millions were minted. On average, 1955 D pennies are abundant. That means most of them are not rare or expensive. Money bag. What's the typical market value? 2025. For 1955 D is roughly what the market says about a normal 1955 D penny, depending on its condition. An average circulated condition, i.e. worn by years of use, just a few cents, maybe 10, 30 cent. Userkinbook.com +2 Coino +2 in uncirculated/mint state condition. MS class could be worth a few dollars. Many resources list something like $1 to $2. Coino +2 Cointrackers.com +2 in above average uncirculated condition. Better strikes, nice original copper color, sharp details, more value. Some guides show $3 to $20 depending on exact grade. Cointrackers.com +2 rarest.org +2 in short. If you have a normal 1955 penny, it's unlikely worth hundreds. Likely only a few cents to a couple dollars. Why medium star? What makes a 1955 penny valuable? Rare cases and exceptions. If most 1955 pennies are common, why do people sometimes talk about big values, even hundreds or thousands of dollars? Because of these special cases. Magnifying glass tilted left condition and red, original copper tone coins that have strong strike detail, full lettering, and still show their original bright red copper color, RD. These are much more desirable. Rarest.org +2 Coinvaluelookup.com +2 well-preserved uncirculated coins in high grade, MS65, MS66, MS67, jump way up in value compared to circulated ones. Rarest.org +2 Antiques Know-How +2 Warning rare mint errors, especially the famous double die obverse. DDO, from 1955. The coin minted in 1955 also produced a small number of error coins, most famously the 1955 double die obverse Lincoln penny, sometimes called 1955 DDO. On these, you can see strong doubling on the inscriptions. Liberty, in God we trust, and even the date appear doubled because of a minting error. Bullion exchanges +2 Coinvaluelookup.com +2 This error penny is extremely collectible. If genuine and in high grade, it can sell for tens of thousands of dollars at auction, depending on condition and redness. Bullion exchanges +2 Coinvaluelookup.com +2 That's why every 1955 penny should be examined carefully. If you see doubling on the front inscriptions, that's when the penny could actually be a hidden treasure. Other errors/unusual variants, less common. Sometimes coins are misstruck, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, unusual toning, or struck on wrong planchet. Such coins may garner interest among niche collectors. Antiques Know-How +1 But such mistakes are rare, and many of those coins get flagged or dismissed by serious graders/collectors if they're poorly struck or obviously altered. Warning: reality check. Why $42, or much higher, is usually unrealistic. You mentioned market current value $42. That's possible, but only under good conditions. Uncirculated, nice copper color may be graded. For a typical circulated 1955 penny, forget $42, you'd get cents or maybe $1 or $2. The problem: there are millions of 1955 pennies, over 563 million minted. That means common ones have very low collectible value. Userkinbook.com +2 Rarest.org +2 The really rare and valuable ones are only a tiny fraction of that total. So it's unlikely you'll randomly get a golden goose, unless you're lucky or your coin's condition is exceptional. Also, condition matters. Even small scratches, cleaning marks, or loss of original color drastically reduces value. Faced with monocle, what you should do: how to evaluate a 1955 penny, or any 1955 wheat penny. If you want to check if your penny is special, look for the mint mark, D, under the date equals Denver. That tells you it's a 1955 D. Check condition by eye. Are the letters sharp? Is the date clear? Are details like Lincoln's hair and coat well defined? Are the wheat stalks crisp on the reverse? Check color. Original red copper, bright or deep red, is way more desirable than dull brown. Examine for errors, especially doubled inscriptions, DDO, doubling on date, letters, motto. Use magnification if possible. If it looks promising, consider professional grading/authentication by reputable coin grading houses. Because value jumps drastically if graded and verified authentic. Compared to recent auction sales, that gives real-world value rather than listing or hyped price. Brain: why collectors still love 1955 pennies, and what makes them exciting. The 1955 penny is a piece of mid-century American history, struck in a time when pennies were everyday currency. Holding it is like holding a small piece of that past. The wheat penny, design, with Lincoln's profile and wheat stalks, is iconic and beloved by collectors worldwide. The possibility, however small, that this seemingly worthless 1-cent coin might be a rare error or a mint-state gem gives excitement. Imagine discovering a DDO error or a perfect red uncirculated coin in a bunch of old change. That's the thrill of coin collecting. For many, it's not just about money, it's about heritage, history, and the hunt for something rare and beautiful. Direct hit final thoughts. What a 1955 D penny means in 2025. If you dig into your old coins and pull out a 1955 D Lincoln wheat penny, don't expect it to be instantly worth a fortune. For most, it will remain a humble 1-cent piece with maybe $0.01, $0.02 value. But if it's in excellent condition, original red copper, sharp detail, uncirculated, it might fetch a few dollars to maybe $20 or more. And if you really hit the jackpot, find a genuine error, like DDO or a rare, high-grade specimen, that's when this little penny could become valuable to a collector. So yes, a 1955 D penny can be worth a lot. But more often, it's a reminder. In coin collecting, condition plus authenticity plus rarity equals value. Treat every old penny with respect, examine it carefully, and you never know what hidden gem you might have. If you like, I can prepare a full ready-to-record YouTube script for you, with intros, hooks, sections, on-screen prompts, formatted for easy reading while filming, and covering 1955D, 1955 no mint, 1955S, and also the rare error coins. You want me to build that full script now? Today we are talking about one of the most iconic American coins, the wheat penny, and specifically the 1956 D Lincoln wheat cent from the United States Mint, a coin that many people overlook, but it could be worth much more than just 1 cent. So settle and get comfortable and let the history unfold, because this tiny copper coin could surprise you in a huge way, and by the end of this video you might even rush to check your own coin jars and old family savings boxes, because a valuable treasure might be waiting for you. Let's begin with the background story. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents in American history. These coins were beautifully designed with Lincoln's portrait on the front side and wheat stalks on the reverse, representing prosperity, growth, and strength. Fast forward to the year 1956. America was booming. The post-war economy was rising. Families were buying homes, cars, and televisions. Life was full of hope and progress. At the Denver Mint, located in Colorado, millions of these wheat pennies were created, over 1 billion in total that year, including more than 420 million coins stamped with the D Mint mark for Denver. Now, of course, when a coin is made in such large numbers, most of them are common, but within a sea of coins there are always those special pieces that become ultra rare and incredibly valuable. We are talking about coins in pristine condition, coins with striking errors, coins that collectors chase for years. The 1956 D wheat penny, in perfect condition with sharp details, glowing red, original luster, and zero damage, can be very desirable in today's collector's market. While regular circulated pieces may be worth a few cents, or maybe a couple of dollars, a high-grade mint state example certified by a top grading company can jump into a much higher price range. The top quality pieces can reach strong values today, even up to $42 or more in the right market conditions, and sometimes extremely rare examples with dramatic mint errors can sell for much higher prices. Imagine a small copper coin that cost only 1 cent being worth $42. That is a massive profit, and that is why collectors love this hobby, because treasure can hide where we least expect it. Let us talk about some mistakes and striking errors that make the 1956 D wheat penny even more exciting. There are double dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, die cracks, and many other unusual minting problems that happen during the high-speed production in the Denver Mint. These mistakes transform a regular penny into something special, something unique, something collectors would fight over in auctions. Now picture yourself finding a 1956 D penny that has a noticeable doubling on the letters or the eyes, or maybe a bold repunched D mint mark. If you do, your coin could be worth a lot more than its regular price, because error coins are like a fingerprint. No two are Exactly the same, and that rarity is what collectors crave. Do you know what else makes these coins desirable? The beautiful wheat reverse design that ended in 1958, only 2 more years after the 1950 60 penny was made. In 1959, the United States Mint changed the reverse to the Lincoln Memorial design, so the wheat penny became a precious piece of the past, a true classic, a beloved treasure for enthusiasts all around the world. So how can you know if your 1950 60 wheat penny is valuable? This is very important. Listen closely. First, check the condition. If the coin looks brand new, no scratches, no discoloration, and still bright red, you might have a high-grade treasure. Second, check for errors and unusual features. Third, consider having it graded by a trusted company, because certified coins often bring the highest prices in the market. Collectors always pay a premium for rarity, perfection, and history combined, and the 1950 60 wheat penny has all three in the right circumstances. Right now, coin shows, coin shops, dealers, and online auctions continue to see strong demand for this date, especially when the coin is in brilliant condition or has a dramatic mint era. The fascinating history, the connection to Abraham Lincoln, the end of the wheat era, and the potential high value make it one of the most exciting coins for beginners and experts alike. So if you are watching this video, do yourself a favor and start searching. Check your old jars, your piggy banks, your drawers, your relatives' old collections. You never know, the next lucky person to discover a $42 wheat penny could be you, and that moment could be unforgettable. Before we end today, remember, the real magic of coin collecting lies not only in the money but in the history, the story, the passion behind every coin. These tiny artifacts travel through time, through hands, and through generations, connecting us to the past. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this exciting episode on the 1950 60 ultra rare Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed learning about this valuable coin, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunt with us. Leave a comment about which coin you want us to cover next, because your ideas guide our journey. Together we will keep discovering hidden wealth and forgotten stories, one coin at a time. Until the next video, keep searching, keep dreaming, and keep collecting. Your next treasure might be waiting in the palm of your hand. If you want, I can add timestamps, add sound effect cues, add on screen text suggestions, add thumbnails, text ideas, write a pinned comment and description too. Would you like a script for another year like 1955, 1957, 1944, or any Liberty or quarter video? Just tell me the date and mint mark, and I will make it even longer and more exciting for your channel.